Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Thank you for joining me. Today we're doing a Happy Day series. Happy Day series is all about items that we have on hand that we use in our stash. And today I wanted to share with you something I found out and I thought was super duper fun. This has probably been out for a while, but I just found it out, so I thought I would share it with you. And I'm going to create my own little flower embellishments using felt. The felt here that I have is from Walmart. They come in 8.5 by 11 sheets of felt. Very inexpensive. I think it was like $1 for each sheet. But to create the flowers, all you need are some border dies. So I'm going to use a few different border dies here, a few scallops. And you know what, the further away from the edge of your felt strip you put your border die, the bigger the flower will be. And so I wanted some medium flowers, so I'm going to put it pretty close. And I'm just tacking them down with some purple tape here. Now I wanted to show you that any kind of border die would work great. In fact, I'm going to bring in a grassy border die just to show you how fun these flowers are to make. I thought, boy, if I had found out how to do this when my girls were little, they would have flowers in their hair every day. I would make little hair pretties with these. But I die cut out each one of my little felt pieces. I have 2 scallop edges and my grassy border. I'm just trimming off the edge because the border die didn't quite go all the way to the edge. Now I'm going to take a needle and thread. Now if you are a Sam & Say Stamp card kit subscriber, I think the January kit came with some needles and thread. But I'm just threading my needle, I'm doubling it up, and then I'll tie a knot at the very end. I like to double it up. You don't have to double it up. But once my needle's threaded, all you do is create a stitch line on the very bottom portion of your felt, the straight line edge. And it does not have to be perfect stitches. My goodness, my stitches are very uneven. You'll see here in a minute. But you go through the entire bottom portion of your felt. And I think felt is a lot easier to thread than fabric because of the density of it. But once you have it threaded, you just pull on the thread and it will create a little itty bitty circle and it creates it like an instant flower. I was like, oh my goodness, this is super duper easy. I just secured the 2 ends together by tying a knot with my needle and thread. And then I just trim off my thread, the end of my thread. I threaded my needle pretty long so I could do the rest of my little flowers here. But that is an instant flower. I thought it was so fun. And it's not that bulky. I think you could still put it through a standard size envelope. But here I'm going to do one more for you, and then I did do the pink one off camera. But you just do a basic stitch line on the very bottom. And like I said, the stitch lines don't have to be even or even perfect. You just thread it through, and then you take the end of that thread and tighten it up to create a little loopy circle, and then you secure the 2 ends together by tying a little knot. This is the grassy border and it creates a real fun daisy. So I thought I would share that with you in case you haven't seen this done before. Oh my goodness, super duper easy. Now to embellish the center, since you already have that little hole, you could use those brads that we have in our stash that are just sitting there. You just flip over the end brackets on the back side. You could use anything really. You could do this pink one. I'm going to use a button I threaded with some white twine, and I'm just going to secure that to the middle of my little flower using a glue dot. But I thought this was super neat. You could embellish packages, tags, gift bags would be super fun. But it's a little fun find I thought I would share with you guys. I like to add some foam tape behind them, and then they're ready to go for the next time I use them. But we're going to use this orange flower today. I'm also going to take a piece of green felt and using a foliage die. This is from Paper Smooches. I'm going to cut out a little piece of green felt leaves. And then I'm using a paper pad that I've had in my stash. I think I used this last year for Easter, but it's from Doodlebug and it's called Spring Things. I just cut out a few different panels with that. On this green pattern paper, I'm going to use my scallop stitch die. and create a scallop border on the very bottom. And then I'm also taking some white cardstock, and for my sentiment I'm going to use these dies from Spellbinders. I don't know if they still have these or not. That's the thing with Happy Day series, is some of my stash items are pretty old, so I can't locate them. But if I can, I'll link them down below. The sentiment will read Happy Spring. I'm also taking a 1/4 inch strip of white cardstock and die cutting out a stitch line on that thin strip of white cardstock there. Okay, everything is die cut. Now I'm going to go ahead and adhere my scallop border on the very bottom of this pattern paper. There's some soft pale plaid print on here, and I thought it would be perfect for a spring card. I'm going to add my white stitch line detailed strip to the border or the edge, covering up that seam. And then using this orange pattern paper with white flowers, I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to my card base. We're going to offset it all the way to the left, leaving a little bit of a white border. Now we're going to add our sentiment, starting off with the happy. I'm going to put this on the left edge of this panel here. And I'm going to trim off a little bit more of the happy just so it fits a little bit better. And I'm attaching this to the left with my glue here. We'll go ahead and add our spring. And I chose white cardstock because against that orange pattern paper, I think it will really stand out. Okay, we're going to add some double-sided foam tape behind our panel. We'll just remove the release paper and add this to our card base, giving our card a little bit of dimension. And I'm going to scoot it over a little bit more so it's a little more balanced. To adhere my green felt leaves, I'm going to use my glue. Just adding a little bit of glue. We'll add that to our Happy Spring panel, and then remove the release paper off of our handmade embellishment, which I think is so fun. We'll add that in the center of our little greenery. For bells and whistles, we're going to bring in some white sequins. I'm just going to place them around my little panel, and then using my glue, I'll attach them in place here. And then that's my card for today, guys. Oh my goodness, I thought this was so fun. I was so excited about this. So easy peasy to do using any kind of felt pieces, and very, very inexpensive. But again, if you're interested in any of the products I use, I'll try and find them and link them below for you. And if you want to see still shots, you can visit my blog, guys. I have some larger pictures over there. But I wish you a lovely weekend, and we will see you again real soon, guys. Bye-bye.